What's up, everyone? I'm Sophia Pasternak, an award-winning author and mental health professional, and this channel is all about the intersection where writing meets psychology. I also post stuff about my author journey, baking bread, and outdoorsy stuff. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe so you're notified when I post a new video. So today, I'm going to be talking about the next schema in my character therapy series, which is the Defectiveness and Shame schema. So this is the idea that your character has that there's something fundamentally wrong with them and that that's something to be ashamed of. And this perceived defect makes them constantly ashamed of just being them. So people who have this schema, the Defectiveness and Shame schema, will think that they are unlovable because of this defect, and they will go to great lengths to prevent other people from figuring out what this defect is, this thing that they think is wrong about themselves. And generally this defect takes the form as like they are too something or not enough something. So they are too annoying or too loud or not loud enough or too fat or too skinny or not skinny enough or something like that. It's this internalized kind of message that they give themselves that you're not enough, something is wrong with you, and other people aren't going to like you because of this thing that is wrong with you. Characters with this schema can be super bad at taking criticism. So they will be really, really sensitive about criticism, especially if it's kind of getting close to that defect that they're certain that they have. So, and then they can react with very big, like, I'm not annoying, you're annoying type of deflection, just to kind of keep themselves safe from those really bad feelings. These are definitely the people who it's the, methinks the lady doth protest too much type of thing. Like, they're, nope, I'm not that, I absolutely not, and there's nothing that you can do to prove that I am, and I'm going to do everything I can to prove that I am not that thing. So if your character has the schema, they possibly had parents who in their childhood were very judgmental or like very naggy and, had very high standards for them. And so this character grew up kind of internalizing that hypercriticalness, and it turned into, my parents wanted me to get straight A's in school and I got an A-, so I'm too stupid to live, that type of thing. Alrighty, so in my schema overviews video up here somewhere, I talked about the 3 ways that characters can react to a triggering of their schema. And triggering is just when somebody says something or something happens that kind of makes the schema rear its head, and it makes your character feel really bad feelings. And so they will react in order to kind of prevent those feelings from either escalating or happening in the first place. The first way that a character can react to schema triggering is overcompensation. And the overcompensators react as though the opposite of the schema is true. So in this case, it's the, something's fundamentally wrong with me. The opposite of that being true is there is absolutely nothing wrong with me, and they will act that way. They will present themselves as being absolutely perfect, and they will be really critical of other people's imperfections, kind of turning things back onto them. And they will be very rejecting of other people. Nope, you're not perfect enough for me. Sorry, we can't even be seated in the same place. The second way to react is avoidance. So these characters act as though the schema is not even there. The schema doesn't even exist. We are avoiding it. We're not even going to think about it. They will rearrange their entire lives so that the schema won't be triggered at all. They will avoid sharing any information because if they share, then other people might judge them, or other people might realize how fundamentally busted they are. They will withhold thoughts and feelings from other people. And like I said, they rearrange their whole lives. And this usually, for most schemas, involves keeping other people at a distance so that they don't realize, they can't know what's wrong with me if they're not close to me. The third way that characters can react is surrendering. The surrenderers accept that the schema is true. This is absolutely, destined to happen to me. So I'm just going to accept it. And the surrenderers will choose loved ones who are very critical of them and who can find this defect that they have and kind of just harass them about it. They will also put themselves down really hard and engage in a lot of negative self-talk. So self-deprecation to the point where the people around them are like, this doesn't feel like, funny self-deprecation anymore. This feels like you're really just being super mean to yourself. Also in my overview video, I talked about the lie, the want, the truth, and the wound. The lie is the fundamental incorrect belief that your character has. And in this case, it's something like, no one would love me if they knew how defective I am. The less people know about me, the safer I am. And if people, understand how broken I am, then they won't have anything to do with me. I don't understand how somebody could love somebody as broken as me. And then this one that I know that some of my writers out there are going to feel this, imposter syndrome. These people or these characters will have imposter syndrome. And it's if somebody loves me, it's because I have fooled them somehow. And this is really common for writers, people said that my book is good, but it's just because I somehow fooled them. I fixed my camera, it was crooked. Anyway, whatever. So the want is the thing that your character thinks they need to be happy. And this want is created assuming that the lie is true. So this want is not actually going to make them happy. It's just going to perpetuate this lie and make them more comfortable with this lie situation that they're in. The want for a defectiveness schema could be something like, I want to find someone who's going to love me in spite of how messed up I am. Whereas the truth is the thing that your character actually needs in order to be happy, to achieve greatness. And with the defectiveness schema, that kind of truth would be, I need to realize that I'm not broken. And then the wound is the thing that happened in the first place that caused this lie to even come and exist. And like I said earlier, it was probably a caretaker when they were very young being hypercritical of them and picking on this one particular aspect of their lives, and it became this thing that all of their attention was turned on to, I have to fix this thing and then somebody can love me. Now is the time of the video when you are going to grab a pencil, open a Word document, get chalkboard, find your cuneiform clay tablet, whatever. I'll wait for a second. Okay, now that you have that, presumably, you can just pause me. I want you to write down 3 things. And the very first thing is going to be, what is your character's relationship with the lie of, I'm defective, I am broken, and I need to be ashamed of that. So your main character's relationship with the lie is basically how the defectiveness schema fits into their life and the things that they do in order to either avoid it or the way that they're feeding into it. Multiple people can have the defectiveness schema or any other schema and then react to it in completely different ways. Like those 3, the overcompensation, the avoiding, and the surrendering. It's not somebody is always an avoider. Somebody's always an overcompensator. Usually somebody will pick one as their dominant, but then if that doesn't work, they move on to the others until something works in order to keep those bad feelings away. Everybody's different, everybody is unique, and your character is going to respond to this I'm broken, I'm bad, I'm flawed feeling in a different way that the next character over is. So write down how your character is responding to this feeling of being flawed. And once you've done that, now we're going to write down a list of things that could happen that enforce this lie, that enforce the you are broken. So for somebody who thinks that they're too annoying, the things to enforce this lie could be, I was at a party one time and I told a joke and nobody laughed, and it's because they all hate me, and they all hate me because I'm too annoying, and stuff like that. And things that other people could say, events that could happen, anything that could prove to them, yep, you are broken, you're too annoying, and people don't like you because of it. Now, the next list we're going to write is things that challenge that lie. So challenging the I am fundamentally broken. This could, for a character, come in the form of somebody who sticks by them no matter what, or somebody who does laugh at their joke, or just doing anything that proves to them or that shows them, hey, maybe I'm not so unlikable after all. Or someone who, in the climax of the story might see their brokenness and it doesn't matter to them and they stick with them anyway. In my book, Ivan has this schema because he has a different type of magic than the rest of his family. And so his way of dealing with it is avoiding. He doesn't use the magic. He's trying to almost like, well, if I don't use it, maybe it will go away. And he meets his hero toward the kind of middle-ish end of the book and realizes that this hero of his has this same magic and he uses it in ways that Ivan had never thought of before. So he gets over his schema there because he meets somebody who's very, very important to him who has this same defect, and he realizes, oh, it wasn't a defect after all. I'm different, but it's not wrong. Okay, that is defectiveness and shame. So I usually do like a rundown at the end of my videos of what we talked about, and I don't think I'm going to do that anymore. If you want to remember what we talked about, rewind and go check it out again. So thank you so much for joining me here. And if you really like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you want to check out the rest of my videos, and if you like that, please subscribe to my channel. And then if you have an author friend who is kind of geeks out about story theory and that kind of thing, please link them my channel, link them this video, because helping people develop characters and story kind of butters my biscuits, and I just love it. So please help me be happy and help your friends be happy. So that's all from me. Have a great day.